Hey guys, welcome back to Resistance Chicks. We're your hosts, Leah and Michelle. Today is the 20th of September. It's a Friday. It's just slightly after 6 p.m. where we go live every week with a weekly roundup. And I have to tell you, not only have I missed you guys this week, even though I did do a B Bible video and Patriot Gallery did, I think, 2 shows. You guys have a lot to catch up on. There's so much news. We haven't done news. I'm like, this is crazy.
I don't even know how we're going to pack it all in.
But we are going to pack it in.
We're going to try. There's a huge climate strike. And here's the thing. What everybody's basically said about the climate change showdown, kids were walking out of school today and then proud of themselves because, you know, not learning stuff is equal to making change around the world. But it's a religion. It's a cult. And as Tucker Carlson put it, no religion is, great without some sort of Messiah. Ooh. And without sin. Okay?
That's good.
So we're all sinners, but they don't actually tell us what sin we're guilty of because, according to them, nothing that we do at an individual level is really ever going to be enough.
Yeah.
We need as the economist
puts
it,
has to be forced change from the government down. It has to be. Anything outside of that's not enough.
Says climate change activism and socialism are inseparable. AOC's deal was never meant to battle climate change. It was meant to usher in socialism. This is the demonic way of bringing about a new communist regime change, you could say. The workers' movement of the Soviet Republic, or whatever you want to call it, never got the foothold that it wanted to here in America.
Right.
So what they have done is rather than go for the working class average American, they've decided in their little circles to pull together everybody on the outskirts, every minority, every sexual deviation from the norm. And they're going to use them.
Yeah.
They're using them. They're using them.
Well, and the fact that they are being used, it's sad.
Oh, we're not on. Let me turn this on.
It's really sad to me that these people don't understand they're just pawns. They're just puppets. And when they are done with you, you're disposable.
That's what they've done to the working class America. Because I have a video I'm going to show you where even CNN went into northern rural Minnesota.
Okay.
And those people were staunch Democrats.
Yeah.
They still vote straight down the ticket in state elections Democrat, but they're Trump supporters because they're a mining town, and
that makes sense.
They mine something that you need to make steel.
Right.
And steel is out the roof right now, American steel.
Right.
And so they have to vote Trump. So here we have socialism and climate change are inseparable.
Fighting for the broadest possible mobilization of youth, students, and workers to fight against climate change and to fight for socialism, which in our view is inseparable. The people in that building there are organically incapable of stopping climate change. They have no interest in it. Climate change has been a problem for 50 years through 7 administrations.
Well,
that's strange. They don't want you to see it. Oh,
that wasn't even. That's so weird. That wasn't, I'm not even on that page. I'm just going to see if I can finish this video somehow.
We're fighting for the broadest. They will do nothing to stop this crisis. It's up to an independent movement of the entirety of humanity, mass of workers, youths, and students to fight against this. That's what we're fighting for.
So you can't be a capitalist and support climate change?
No, it's fundamentally impossible. You might hold those views, but they're contradictory. There is no way to reconcile the fight for the environment with a capitalist drive for profit. We've had 50 years to come up with a solution that reconciles capitalism with environmentalism, and none has been found. That is a scathing indictment of anyone who would claim that capitalism and environmentalism are incompatible.
So there you have it. The fist fight against climate change is inextricably connected to the push for socialism, according to a climate change alarmist. This is from thousands of activists participated in the Greta Thunberg-inspired global climate strike in Washington, D.C. and around the world today. Participants in D.C. were heard shouting, "Hey, hey, ho, ho, climate change has got to go." And I'm going to show you the video of "Don't eat cows, eat the rich." One activist told Breitbart News that he was there not only to fight against climate change, but fight for a socialism.
Wow.
Yeah, so we've got that. And so here we have the global climate strike inspired by Pawn and Tool. The Scandinavian activist Greta Thunberg underway, and these children are very afraid. And I got to find the part in our little clip we're talking about, because we have footage of these children, children.
Yes, we do.
Going cray-cray. So activists across 150 countries participated in an international strike today. High-profile protesters such as Greta Thunberg, who helped inspire the student-led protests by starting school walkouts in her own hometown, are leading dozens of mass rallies across the United States. The global strike, set just days before September 23rd's UN Climate Action Summit in New York, is expected to draw millions of activists who believe human activity is contributing to climate change, and that drastic measures such as limiting meat consumption, reforming the transportation sector, and banning plastic straws, and these children are now taking pledges to never have children. Videos are surfacing for protests across the globe. We have some here in Uganda.
Oh my gosh.
For a climate strike. We have some here in Ireland today. Climate strike. What you're seeing here is a mass religion.
That's exactly what it is.
And the fear that these people live with.
And they're miserable.
They don't know why they're here. They don't know what they're going to do. They just know that they've been told to be very, very afraid. I don't know if you guys know this, but in the 1960s, 50s and 60s, there was a population scare.
Okay.
And this guy wrote this book called The Population Bomb.
Yeah.
And he said that without population controls, then the world would end in 10 years. And we would all starve, and then there would be not a plant left on this planet.
Right.
However, due to modern farming, which I am not a fan of, there is actually more food, too much food. We're throwing away food all the time, every single day. Melbourne climate strike. Here in Melbourne, Australia, people are very afraid.
So if you want to know what I'm doing right now,
Germany.
do you want to tell them what you think I'm probably doing right now?
Right now, she's texting a lady with a bunch of extra food.
Okay, I'm not
bringing
actually.
it for our pigs.
No. I am trying to figure out Instagram and how to let Instagram know that we are live right now. We are now on Instagram, Resistance Chicks. You can find us, and I'm trying to navigate Instagram. But you can't Instagram from your laptop. You can only Instagram from your phone. It's like you can go there, but you can't post. It's really weird. I'm learning.
Edinburgh. Colombia. Tokyo.
Make sure you put links on Instagram actually now that I'm
What do you want? When do you want it?
and you have to have a picture. So I need my Trudeau picture.
Melbourne, Nairobi, Dubai. Nothing without Jeremy Corbyn.
Let's quite simply say that we want every country on board on this, every country fully signed up to the Paris, and going a lot further than that. And so,
Well, there you have Jeremy Corbyn. Yeah.
Well, so what I'm thinking is,
Kamala Harris, there's nothing more powerful than our nation's youth marching together, demanding action to be taken to protect our planet and our future. Nobody's actually talking about what the plan is.
did these kids show up with this? Okay, you know what? I'm not going to buy laptops anymore. I'm getting rid of my cell phone. I'm doing everything. I'm going back to farming. I don't want to drive a car, much less an electric car, because electric cars take actually more from the environment than gas-powered cars. And I am literally going to walk and bicycle everywhere. Now, if these kids are doing that, I'm actually going to get behind them. I'm totally going to get behind them.
They're going to eat less meat, and they're going to recycle. That's the extent to their amazing climate changeness. Then they want the world to fix everything else for them.
Wow.
Bernie Sanders says the young people have already demonstrated they can take on powerful fossil fuel companies. Blah blah blah. Okay, here's all the president people.
This Instagram thing is definitely challenging.
It's going to take some
learning
to get used to. So here's where this all comes down to.
Okay.
The Economist magazine, which we know is the globalist, plan that they let out to like the little people.
Yeah.
They let you know what they're going to do
Right.
in the Economist magazine. The Economist calls for complete overhaul of economy to fight climate change. The Economist magazine has devoted an entire weekly issue to the climate crisis, calling for all encompassing measures to curb global warming, because the processes that force climate change are built into the foundations of the world economy and of geopolitics. And the measures to check climate change have to be similarly wide-ranging and all-encompassing. To decarbonize an economy is not a simple subtraction. It requires a near complete overhaul. To justify an entire issue dedicated to climate, Mitten Beddos states that the topic of climate now touches on every aspect of the news. We have found that whether it is in the democratic politics or Russian dreams of opening an Arctic Sea passage, climate now touches on everything we write about. To illustrate this, we decided to weave articles into the climate crisis and what can be done into all parts. So here we have what they don't tell you about climate change, in the line of fire, how to live with climate change, stopping climate change. Candidates are tripping over themselves to convey their plans, ambition. Joe Biden's $1.7 trillion proposal, Bernie Sanders $16.3 trillion. You guys, we're $20 trillion in debt, and Bernie Sanders wants an extra $16 trillion. So then we want, see, here's what they want. Ready? Mo money. Harris, Buttigieg, and Castro all support a carbon tax, which economists like for its ability to spur low emissions across the economy. It's not exactly how this works. So, the latest. The youth feel they're doing adults' job on climate. Thousands of protesters. Let's see, one 15-year-old said, our earth is dying, and if we don't do something about it, we die. Many of the young protesters spoke bitterly about the inability of their parents' generation to seriously confront the growing climate change threat. So let me go ahead and bring up some of these videos I have for you. Here's one young woman who says she feels visceral anxiety every day.
Oh, yeah, I saw
Studying
that.
environmental biology. I'm 19 years old, and like so many people my age, I feel really visceral anxiety about climate change every day. And today, as we speak, millions of young people all around the world are taking to the streets and going on strike to demand climate action, because we feel this incredible urgency. If we're going to have a livable future, we need a Green New Deal, and we need it as soon as possible. So my question is, how do you plan as president to deal with opposition from Republicans and from conservative Democrats? And would you consider supporting filibuster reform as a way to make the Green New Deal a reality?
Yeah.
I'm a sophomore studying environmental biology.
She feels visceral anxiety, but did she, has she decided to do any farming?
That's a good question.
Has she decided to take things into her own hands?
Well, yeah, like probably.
Hi, good morning, Senator. My name is Joan Miller. I am a doctoral candidate at USC. I study empathy as communication.
Wow.
My pronouns are she, her, hers. And yesterday we talked a lot about individual responsibility to change behavior, like veganism, water waste, and plastic straw bans, all of which initiatives disproportionately affect disabled people and poor people. Besides a carbon tax and these individual responsibilities, how can we shift the responsibility to incentivize corporations and high waste industries to change their behavior around climate change? Hi, good morning, Senator.
She went ahead and told her pronouns. She, her, hers, hi,
Her, hers, hers.
hers, she, hers, her, hers, she, her, hers. So I'm glad that she emphasized
hers, she, hers.
So when she said hers, you know, it could be like her, but then theirs. So she wanted to make sure that she's like.
So if it's like possessive,
if it's
like,
possessive, she wanted to make sure that it's like I have
you
multiple
can change it,
personalities.
yeah.
That theirs,
Ooh.
theirs inside of me, but I'm a her, but I'm a theirs when I possess things because, you know, all my personalities are female, and that's okay, but it needs to be theirs.
I would love to have Sally Field sit down and talk to me about what she feels that Sybil's pronouns would have been.
Definitely theirs.
So I'm gonna go check on our neighbor with the thread real quick.
All right, so you're gonna miss a really great one.
No, save it.
Nope, gonna do it.
Save it.
Eat the rich, don't eat cows. 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 Eat the rich.
Now, for all y'all who still had your children in them public schools, and I've been telling y'all for years to get them out, yesterday would have been a good day. Tomorrow is too late. Don't send your children back to the public brainwashing institutions, or you're going to have people coming and eating you.
Don't eat cows. Eat the rich. 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 Don't eat cows. Eat the rich.
Can I tell you something? Them children look like them parents are rich. And that's exactly what they're talking about. Thanksgiving dinner is going to be soy, and their parents on the table. And that's what I'm talking about. I'll play that again for Michelle when she comes back, because she's going to want to know that they just really want to eat the rich. Here's Tucky. Checker Carlson calling out some hypocrisy here on this climate nonsense.
New religion of the left. They're not even calling it. Well, in just about every way, climate activism is the new religion of the left. They're not even calling it science anymore. They're not even pretending. They have sins, using a plastic straw, eating steak. There are dietary rules. Eat crickets. And what's a religion without strange vows? Well, an environmental movement calling itself No Future, No Children is getting teenage climate activists to vow not to reproduce, because that's healthy. That's not weird or anything. That activists say a warming world is not one they want children to live in, so don't have them. Robbie Schwabe is the author of Panic Attack, Young Radicals in the Age of Trump, and he...
So I'm going to read this from Maia. At least the old-time tree huggers were planting trees. These new ones are just lazy. And you just hit the nail on the head. Why in the world are these kids going out there wasting a day? Here's the thing. If they really believed in some crazy climate change, they would take their day and their climate strike, and they would each plant 20 trees, and they would go and they would water those trees. They'd plant, if they really meant something, every single school in this country would be filled with fruit trees, and they would bring mulch in from people cutting down trees to mulch that area, keep it nice and moist. Part of your economics class would be to grow your own food. Part of your history class would be to go out there and grow your own food, because they're saying that climate is in every single subject, right? Mathematics could be about growing your own food. Let's see here. Chickens want people to eat cows, and cows want people to eat chickens, and pigs want people to eat chicken and cows. Thank you, Dale Jones, for that. That's nice. Let's see. These people are so boring. Alarming how many young people have severe anxiety. You're absolutely right. Regulations equal profit, says Wicked Psyched. A carbon tax, and none of it will go to helping the environment. There you go. Ding, ding, ding. You get the prize for the day. Thank you, Electric Eye. Talking about real climate change solutions, and we don't even go on climate change because the climate has been changing, okay? I say this every time and I keep saying this. We had an ice age. The planet has been warming since our last ice age. So we can't really take temperatures as a gauge. But what we can is with our eyes, we can look at the pollution everywhere we go. We can look and see that children, all of us have plastics within our bodies. There is something wrong with having this much plastic and having it inside of our bodies. Yes, you are right about that. But people are not willing to change the way they live. They just want to feel good, and the carbon taxes are what makes them feel good. Let's see. And then Rednecks has a 76 Blazer gas guzzler. So, yes, Michelle made a bee tutorial yesterday, and that is one major way. These kids should all be learning how to keep bees, learning how to grow their own plants. You guys are right.